like Lina, Enigma tied, you have so many good options, and God forbid you ever get the Enigma ult, right?
You almost want it to be like the days when like Sing Sing was still a professional player and he could play Rubik in the mid. It's like I have everything that I can steal right now. Do I just switch him to being a core because he will carry this game? Rubik
core is actually pretty good, not gonna lie. I think it works against Lina too, but it's just not necessary in this game because you've already a 4-position Rubik is just fine, and Tim's is gonna have a dream time.
Yeah, it really is. This is the game where Tims will look to shine, and once again TNC, they're trying to flag who they're going after. It's Eternal Envy. They're saying the message to him. I know at the end of game 1, like Envy kind of like smiled a little bit about it and had a bit of a giggle as they were just like tipping him. But the start of game 2, like even when the Enigma was picked up, the faces of Team didn't look right. Like there was definitely something that was not quite on the mark for both Gunnar and Envy's faces. They both looked annoyed about something, and the panel was mentioning it as well.
Yeah, it is difficult, especially first LAN for this squad. And many of these players' career, well, Gunnar's career, I believe, and Mike not been back here since I don't know how long.
It's tough.
It's tough. You're a game away from elimination now, Toby.
Yeah, the last big thing I remember him being at was TI3, I believe, when he was part of Team Liquid with Bulb before he became EG's coach. But yeah, let's look at the upside. Team has a hell of a lot of team fight. Like a lot of team fight. This time around they have some burst damage which can come through Laguna Blade. They have Gunnar on this nuking hero as well, so we look to see his rotation, and it's the kind of hero you want to see him on, where he can actually have this almost like a catch-up kind of style too. It's not as, it almost doesn't feel as limiting as the Queen of Pain was in game 1 for catch-up, or the need to have momentum on the hero.
The problem is it feels like there's even more of a responsibility on Gunnar to make things happen, because what other core can? You've got a Medusa and a Tide. These heroes don't rotate. They are just they're both green watermelons that camp their lane and hope that eventually they have enough farm to just walk down lanes. And I like the decision to go aggro with the Bane Medusa. You've got the Enigma to deny for lane control, but it means up top there'll be a farm Beastmaster.
It's an almost impossible lane for a Tidehunter, and Brax, like, he went the anchor smash, he can't get in nice and close. He went double ring of regen to go with the Stout Shield with 6 tangos and Channeman and a Salve. Like, Brax knows he's having a hard time up
here. They were both shared to him by Enigma. Nushim, the true team player.
My God, he's got 2 clarities only. Yeah. Nushim is full sacrificial Enigma.
Yeah, that is a concern, because we talked about who makes plays, right? Nushim and Gunnar, and all of a sudden you have literally taken everything away from this Enigma. He is left with just 50 gold, or sorry, 100 gold. Way more than I expected, and he's now jungling on a hero that cannot actually do things on the map until 15 minutes plus.
Jungling Enigma is so difficult. You can't keep like all 3 of your Eidolons alive at the very beginning. The camps that don't spawn at the initial mark, so you got to wait an entire minute, and all you're doing is just denying a creep for the off lane. But hey, if team can make the most of this, if you can get a good lane out from Gunnar, because he's got good nuke power against the sniper, great harassment. At the same time, this can just swing back the other way from Armel.
Yep.
But it's to having that Laguna Blade that maybe the sniper has to be a little bit careful of if he gets hit by too many of these Dragon Slaves.
Yep. Something my friend Sender once said about Rubik's support was it's a kill stun, and that's exactly what you've got when you put a sniper middle. As soon as you have a couple points in shrapnel, if Rubik ever walks mid, you just throw down a couple and toss him back.
If they can body block him up here, okay, it's not enough damage. Even with the level 1 Fate Bolt, Brax is low, but just not low enough. And Tim's, look at him go. He wants to deny up the salve, is able to do it. That's actually so huge.
It's really well played and very worth for the Rubik. If he gets the pull off, that's even better, and it looks like Tim's will do that. Playing a great support so far. And bottom lane, I think, is the key. As you can see, the harassment coming out.
Spin. Whoa. Underneath the tower, Ice Mike 88. He's already used his brain sap. Has no nightmare. So Gabby, another hero from TNC, diving into a tower. This time around, not a salve denied. It's an entire hero killed off.
Team. This is the draft where you've effectively given away the early game, right? You've given away the ability to make plays, but when it comes to defending structures or posturing around enemy towers, you're crazy strong.
Gunnar just picking up that double damage rune. That couldn't have come at a better time. Actually gave him just the amount of damage he required to kill off AU.
Really well done. He does keep lane control, though, on Armel's hill for the time being. And that's what this mid matchup is all about. Two of the highest range mid heroes in Dota 2. And you can see Armel is going for the auto attack build, skipping the shrapnel, which makes it a lot easier to juke out the Lina spells as he catches the stun. A pre-curse.
Also, Lovey takes the time to use the global taunt gunner. He's trying to send a message into Armel. Push him back. Hey, I just got myself a kill. It was fantastic. Should have been there. That's right, you weren't. You were farming mid.
And he's doing a good job just pressuring with the DD, and he's now acquired hill control. This is all this mid matchup is about. Got the bottle too, so you're going to need this Dire team to control runes. But you can see TNC, they do not want to let that happen.
That was an optimistic dual breath. If it did reach, you would have had enough spin damage and dual breath damage to find the kill.
Oh, but look at this. He's going to toggle it and deny this rune. Yep. Oh, man. Sorry, camera wasn't on it, but Armel got the late start to go to top rune. But because you now have that double range active ability, he was able to deny it just before Gutter reached it. And
oh man, Cuckoo tipped him before the death. This is what our camera was watching. It was the sit-up damage from Cuckoo and Tim's. iSkyTV once again forced onto a retreat, but without the dual breath, they can't hold him in position long enough to find the kill. And this is still a level 2 Chikiro. No ice path available just yet. This time around though, the dual breath will connect, but Gabby doesn't have spin.
And the lanes are going pretty okay under the circumstances for Team. Like, they have the jungle Enigma, so it's 4-on-5 for the time being, yet they're still trading bottom, winning mid. Top lane is a bit of a disaster for Brax, but he's still level 4, almost level 5. It really only gets easier for Tidehunter when you're playing against Rubik Beast. They're very low auto attack damage heroes. More points in Kraken Shell, some anchor smashes. Starts to add up.
Yeah, the thing I'm kind of a little bit wary of is, like we mentioned, Rubik just being able to play this full role. The fact he's got so many levels. When he rotates, when he has level 6, like how does Team feel like they have the confidence? Cap was mentioning that Tidehunter Ravage, the tentacles come out so slow that you're able to get what is quite an easy steal.
It's true, but I feel like you want to be gunning more for the Enigma and the Lina in the early game. It's always cool, and I'm sure you'd be excited to watch a stolen Ravage go off, but it's way less reliable because the Anchor Smash could come out, and now you've just got to use the spell for over 20 seconds. Whereas Lina Stun, Lina Nuke, those are amazing for a Rubik, especially now that your passive gives you spell amplification and stun duration. Lina Stun's like 3.5 seconds with no cast animation if Rubik has it.
Do you think something should be done a little bit more about trying to actually control this Enigma? Like, I know Enigma in the jungle is a very old school kind of thing, and oh, wow, great deny by Tim.
So huge.
Again, just denying Gunner that extra advantage in the bottle charges. But like moving Jakir up and putting a ward down, like blocking the ability for Enigma to just do what he's freely doing. Should this actually have some level of effort to stop?
It depends. I don't think Enigma jungle, especially with these two camps, is efficient enough, but and it would prevent them from doing what we've seen thus far, which is to consistently try and deny Gunner's runes, which I think is way more important than slowing down Nusham just a little bit, but it'll depend on how he makes those initial rotations. He actually already has the Helm of the Dominator finished at 6 minutes 45. He'll be grabbing the gloves, and that catapult is still alive. Really well done by Team. They preserve this creep wave long enough so that they can take it over and look to start pushing now as 3.
Well, they go for the fight now. iSkyTV in real trouble. Gabby's just blocking his path out. With Enigma arriving, and maybe now with the Malphus return. No, Envy doesn't have anywhere near enough damage, but with Gunner rotating, one Laguna will find the kill and try and see him. Gabby, he's juked it out. He's got the Quelling Blade to go back into the trees, but it won't matter. Eternal Envy will find that kill. Gunner helps him out with the damage. So it will end up being that 1-for-1 trade-off.
No,
but you'll take it, support for core.
And seriously, this auto chess draft, I'm telling you, I've seen it in enough games. If you get to a point where you have enough levels on the Medusa, the Tide, the Enigma, it's near impossible for TNC to team fight. So they want to continue to pressure, take these towers, make TNC fight into them. That's going to be their key to winning the game.
And they can force it. I just love Nusham. Like, this just a straight dominator. Get the siege creep. Push the lane. I'll go back into the jungle. But don't worry, I'll be back again. And then meanwhile, Eternal Envy has had quite a heavy amount. Like, he's stacking for himself at the moment. If Mike won't do it, Nusham actually will. He's got a quad stack of Ancients ready to farm up.
It's just way too early. It's cool to have that, but it's not feasible for at least 4 or 5 more levels for Envy before you could maybe look to start clearing that. Although, you got to keep in mind the Tide Hunter. I think that's the key. If you rotate him bottom within the next couple of minutes, you will be able to clear that stack no problem.
You do have the level 4 Anchor Smash, and it's not far off. Like, he can pick up the Morbid Mask at least and have that lifesteal. So maybe, it's not such a far-fetched thing, and maybe it's not for Envy. Maybe Envy isn't our centerpiece, and we're actually thinking, you know what? It is important that Tide Hunter gets more.
No, Brax will help Envy do the Ancients. That's how it's going to go, all right? Brax might get a couple creeps as a little tax, but I doubt that he'll be taking the brunt of those Ancients Gold. Bottom, they're sticking bottom. There's 3-on-3 now.
Roar comes out. He's been sitting on the edge of this fight for a very long time. Wants to go for the Nightmare and Brain Slam, give a little bit more time to live as this Siege Catapult. Don't know exactly what he was wanting to do apart from just say, hi, this is your traitor.
Yeah. Armel is going to be the key here. The reason you tend to pick the sniper is because with no reach on the enemy side, we know what Team wants to do. Barrel down lanes, force team fights, but they have no real ability to ever kill Armel. And if they're standing under shrapnels, it's near impossible to win engagements. It's also one of the counters, if not the counter, to this new Medusa. You just outrange him all game. You never get stone gazed if you pick up the Dragon Lance, and I like his decision as well. Armel's going to be going for the Maelstrom. It's one of the best scaling items on this sniper, and that's what you do when you feel no pressure.
Yep. You just become that perfect last cannon. Let everyone else be your front runners, let your supports take the hits for you, and let your Beastmaster be the initiation. Roar is on cooldown for the moment, and maybe that's the reason why Team, for the first time in a while, they're actually assaulting into the north. They want to be able to ensure more of these bounty runes, but while they do it, okay, that's a big set of Ancients that is not going to stack, but it's very well shown.
I swore he had that in time. It looked like it should have spawned. It's like we're... It really didn't look like that guy was offsides in that Champions League match the other day, but
I'm sorry. You'll, I like how you're trying to have a European reference in there. Cuckoo's on the hunt, Invis rune around the back. He's Roar just came off cooldown. Newsham, look at the Hawk come up. Instantly attacks in for the Roar. The Midnight Pulse pretty quick from Enigma. He can't really tell him do anything because the Ice Path from AU is right at the right time. But they're trying to use the conversions and the catapult to keep the creep wave off. And this is nice from Team. It's going to allow them to take a trade-off. They'll take the tier 1 tower on top. Gunner protects the mid.
Yep, I would have liked to see Armel deal with top. Tims could have easily sat mid, there was no one there, and instead they just give up that tier 1 top for free and trade for, 300 damage on the mid tower.
Envy, he's coming right underneath the Radeon Observer Ward, and you knew, they'll have to know that there's some level of vision. They may not believe it's this far north, however. But it's watching Envy's farm area.
You see what he's got queued up as well. Envy going for a Midas? I mean, it could work.
Yeah, if this game goes long enough, it looks like they have more than enough team fight to win out. Look towards the mid instead. Jakira's wrapping around the back, looking for the Ice Path, for catching out Gunner, able to do so. Beastmaster doesn't have that Roar of Elbow, won't matter with the assassination. All this damage into Gunner. The 6 charges don't survive him, and Ice Mike 88 too late to bring in the Nightmare, so he'll have to use it over on the Beastmaster. The ball will take it off, but Mel's just playing objective-based gaming while this is all happening. Beat into the tier 1 tower. Same thing can be said about the bottom. Enigma and Brax, Newsham working together to bring down the tower, and Eternal Envy's Mystic Snake is slowing down this push from TNC. So the trade-off, it kind of feels okay if Gunner didn't die.
Indeed, and you got to be careful bottom lane though, because Team's applying a lot of pressure. You can see TNC, they're so reluctant to take big engagements. They're fine going for pickoffs, but you can get punished so hard if you try and take an engagement that you're not prepared for. God forbid Armel gets ravaged, stunned, any sort of control. You get all in on him so easy as the side of Team, but here you go. Jakiro, tons of wave clear, counter push. Yep. Same with the Rubik, same with the Sniper. It gets more and more difficult for Team to shove. And
Gunner in mid, not again.
He's just walking through the ward, and you should know that that's here by now. Someone's got to buy him a sentry. That setup on mid made that really obvious, and it just sees him walk down mid. Beastmaster rotates, an easy kill.
Yep. I still feel like this is one of those games, though, where, okay, Envy now has his hand of Midas. He's just playing for the long game. And while Gunner has been focused, we've seen teams do this in the past, where they try and focus Gunner down. And what's the trade-off? Enigma is a real hero. like we're 13 minutes in, and he's looking to actually build into now a Crimson Guard after adding that extra pressure with the catapult. He's been fantastic pressure, and he's been backed up by Brax, who's already got the Vlads, and is only 800-ish gold away from having a Blink Dagger. These two are really strong elements that Team have managed to farm up.
They got the tier 2 bottom already, and you said it best, like if Brax gets a Blink Dagger,
and they're going to get a kill probably. Is this worth committing the black hole for to bring back the Chikiro? He doesn't have a lot of mana. And Mice only got 3 points up. No Midnight Pulse. They can't cut through the tree line. They'll find him with the rest of the minions, so no need to commit the big abilities. Simple kill and keep the pressure up.
I'm not sure TNC's playing fast enough. Like they have drums on Jug. They got a Beastmaster. The concern is that so far they haven't really pressured TT around the map. You see, like a Midas Medusa now just farming Ancients.
Yeah, and he got rid of the Observe Ward as well. 2 sentries were committed, but losing that vision. Now TNC, they have to send a Hawk over, and they see that Envy has started this. But they're in no position to contest because the bottom lane's pushed so hard.
And the problem, like Blink on Tide is crazy. Strong will have that in 400 gold. That solves their reach problems. They can suddenly begin to start fights. The key is going to be Tim's on Rubik. He rushed the Aether Lens primarily so that he could seal these big ultimates.
Yep.
That's the real turnaround teamfight potential for TNC, because they got a lot of huge ults on the side of Team. You need great positioning, and you need to ensure you don't just catch this Ravage with more than 1 or 2 heroes.
You can see Newsham. Oh, damn, he stole my conversions. Bring back the Centaur. Bring back the Centaur. This is problematic. Bottom lane, Nightmare is out. Gunner's moving in, and he'll hit the perfect LSA. Holding Jakiro in position. With the Laguna Blade, they find the kill. And it just seems to happen time and time again where Team are getting these simple one-hero pickoffs on TNC while continuously pushing the lane. Getting the farm, getting the experience, and just taking over the Radiant jungle.
And they're doing a great job. And it's too early in the game for TNC to threaten Roche. One of the dire advantages...
Oh, that's not going to stop them.
Yeah. Well, sorry. One of the Radiant advantages is that when you mirror the map against your opponents, it's often that you'll get Roche because Dire is playing your jungle.
Yep.
They have to recognize this as the side of Team. You don't want to give away this Aegis because your draft is built to fight around choke points like this. They have the blink gold for Brax, but I don't think they're aware.
They're in no position for it. TNC's expecting some kind of fight to come back at them. That's why they scanned up, but I wonder if this was the right decision. Brax didn't have the blink dagger yet.
He's probably, was thinking maybe he would consider getting something else, but he will finish it. Look at all the items on this courier. My goodness, you've got an Atos on Gunner, Yasha for the Dusa, Blink on the Tide, and 2 Clarities heading towards the TNC side. Not exactly equitable.
They have everything ready to go now, but yeah, as you said, a little too late into the Aegis, the Immortal. But I'm loving their approach to this game, at least. Like Team, like you thought that, like at least the look on the faces of 2 of the cores seemed really problematic. This is an easy pick off for Tim's actually, because that's his conversions. But putting the 2 observer wards on bottom, they've come in and said, you know, we've actually got a game plan with this one. Maybe this was Pocket. Maybe this was one of those weird, quirky ideas that they look to Eternal Envy to think of. He is from the No Tidehunter days, and then just, you know, let's just put down 2 observer wards and just keep this pressure on. This is how we play the game.
It just, there's so much on Brax this game. He needs to hit the Dream Ravage. TNC, if you can just bait out a couple of ultimates, there's nothing Team have left to throw at you, and you can see them even maybe looking to threaten. Just force Team back to base.
It's kind of funny how we moved the pressure. Originally the pressure was all on Gunner, and now the pressure is more on Brax to actually hit the ultimates, because it's the way he built up having that blink dagger.
Yep. If you look at the XP, gold is even and keeps bouncing back and forth, but I guess they're just not quite leveling up, because right now you've got multiple heroes. You know what it is? It's Mike. Mike, my man, level 7. He's the sacrificial lamb to ensure that his 4 teammates all have a great game, really turning into a position 6, which is what our 5s always seem to end up as in the NA region.
They also solved that issue you were talking about, like the fact that there was never really a stack. Why are you not stacking in this game? But Newsham has been on it.
Yeah.
Like that dominated creep, if it's not pushing a lane, it's stacking an Ancient. And the fact that Envy got the entire thing solo as well, like he's sitting so happy as the highest level on the board. This Dusa is looking real strong, and Midas, it's got to pay off sometime pretty damn soon.
Yeah, I hope that Armel reconsiders. He's got Pike queued up, but I want him to buy a BKB right away. He's got enough damage output now. You've got to prepare yourselves for when Team start to march down lanes, and BKB means that as long as he's able to dodge the Ravage, there's really no ability for Team to actually take him down.
So just play that range game.
Yeah, Tim's just finished his blink, I believe. Yep, it's on the way towards him. So that Rubik, you know, it's the dream game for you, Toby. I expect once things heat up, I'll be speaking a lot less.
I don't know. That's only if the fights go for a long time. Like you just maybe having a hearing like appointment. It's like, are we good? Yeah, I don't know.
It's just so peaceful for now, right?
Isn't it? Right?
8-4, even game.
No one wants to like a play-by-play caster screaming at you in some kind of weird emotional way. But there's just no.
Diffusal finished on Gabby. TNC continuing to scale. And it's very much a team fight versus ease of execution as TNC, they're going to actually place a ward in base and just threaten high ground.
No one here.
Nobody.
Like finally the Titan's going to show himself. We're actually hit by the ice pop with the TP out, and I think TNC is a little concerned. Like they're playing so defensive, but maybe they have their opportunity. Gunner in mid. Well, he really just seemed to be that man who's caught out time and time again.
He just stuck around for that last wave. But while
it happened, they're losing the tier 2 tower on top lane. The Hellbear Smasher and the conversions will take care of this. There's no denial to be had. Newsham gets another objective.
Very worth. And look at the towers. Both teams trading all of their side lanes. However, TNC have preserved their tier 1 mid, arguably the most important tower in Dota. At least that's what OpenAI would tell you.
Well, I hear they've been losing a little bit more lately, so maybe they've been worked out. Like, you can never be on top forever.
602.
Yeah, they're
amateur record, if you ask me.
Oh, watching that mid lane now. They're still not fully ready with the mech over on Brax. Gabby will beat through the tier 2 tower. They don't want to fight. Not at least here. Newsham's actually not ready to fight. He's all the way down on bottom. The Omnisage comes in, and that's the jump up. Brax was saved by Mike. He got the perfect nightmare off, but actually he's not safe. Gabby just spins Eternal Envy. Stones.
Yep, that is the advantage to TNC. Hit and run. You are never, ever trying to walk in just revolutionary war tactic.
Newsham's actually dead. They saw him moving around. He doesn't have TP available for 8 seconds time. That's why he's lost down in the tree line. Oh, and now they find him. Nobody can even turn on this one. There's no one to help him out. Newsham is, as I said, dead.
Yep. And I love what they've decided to do. I've talked about Blink Daggers and how they don't provide much stat, but in a game like this, where there's never really an option for you to take head-on engagements, the Blink Beastmaster and the Blink Rubik, these are the heroes now. You can find those pickoffs. Both Sniper and Jug are excellent. If you can just provide a little bit of lockdown, they'll be able to land kills on almost anybody so long as they're isolated.
Did you just see the change in the item builds as well? Actually, wait, no, it's not the change in the item builds. Brax is still looking to go for a full Greaves, and a mech got built over on Gunner.
Ooh.
They are trying to push this sustain so early on. I'm wondering if Brax just leaves that as just a casual buckler now.
See, I wouldn't have minded maybe the Aether Lens build on Gunner this game, but it's just such a hard Lina game. It was picked so early for him. You're into a Rubik, now the Blink Beast, Jug who you never threaten, Sniper who's consistently going to outrange you. Any stun that lands on Lina is going to kill him, regardless of whether he has this mech or not. And to your point, now what is Brax going to move into? Did you just stack the mechs? Because that's very inefficient.
I don't know. And fun enough, I thought he actually had a headdress on him when he was walking to the tier 2 tower before. Maybe he was just carrying it for Gunner because it was in his backpack. But okay.
I mean, Envy's closing on the Scatty. He'll have it in about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Only a 2K gold lead for TNC.
You still have the high ground defense, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's your fallback to, and this is the comfort zone, at least of Eternal Envy. Maybe not of Team, but
here comes the smoke mid, perhaps.
They're grouped up for it. It's Manta on the courier for the Juggernaut.
Yep.
And there's your smoke pop.
It's a really good time. They send the Jug Illusions bottom. However, if Dire are paying attention, they will notice them break smoke.
This is an Invis rune on Brax. Like with the Observer and Sentry, so you can send up the Hawk. Not all the support is there to help him out, and actually Brax is moving back into the mid lane, so he won't actually break this smoke. It's Newsham who's kind of in no man's land on the other side. They're kind of running through bottom.
Yeah, they got to be careful. Look at this game of cat and mouse, but they've done what they want to do. TNC, they've split the map now. They're in between the duo pairs of this dire side. Nusham walking straight up into what could be his demise.
He is like threading the needle right now, and he will go down. Triggers the Crimson Gun. You got a Nightmare over on Beastmaster. Bane trying to TP out, but while there is a menagerie, Beastmaster can just take that Nightmare off, get the Roar, get the kill. There will be a counter up on top lane, which is Gunnar killing off Tims. But he was that split distraction. The one who could have escaped with Blink Dagger.
He certainly could have. He made a large mistake. I believe his camera was actually just on bottom because he accepted his death without casting a spell, which is not something you'd see often from a player as talented as Tims. And you can see TNC, even though they get those kills, right, it's still, they're just that 1k gold advantage. It didn't even shift. Part of that is Envy's Midas, and part of that is just that they're forced to make these maneuvers as 4 or 5. As Team just ignore that and continue to try and farm. Get to a point where they're ready to start walking at the enemies. Greaves completed as well on Gunnar.
I still just love this patience that comes from Team as well. I haven't seen a single Black Hole or Ravage. They are not wanting to burn any of this. And like, as TNC, you got to be sitting there going, you know, there's two huge abilities. Do we want to fight in when both of these are off cooldown? The answer has to be no. Like, there's too many possible things that could go wrong. And now they're trying to get even more of them. And this is what we want to see. It could be the potential triple Ravage if Rubik's able to steal it, because we're going Refresher Orb over on Brack. So he's moved away from going for the Greaves, and now they're going for the all-out team fight.
I mean, the Envy is going for his Scotty, going to pick it up at the side chopper right now.
Like, this man never halts for buyback.
No, not in this kind of game. You're at a point, especially as Deuce, that Scotty timing is just so massive for you. You're going to be the target for the enemy side. You got to be sure that you're able to live through a ton of disable and the shrapnels, the damage output. There's a lot of threat on TNC. Roche is up. This is go time. You can see Nusham had the creep in the pit. They know this is happening. Or at least it's a possibility. They got to be careful. I really like this high ground ward that Radiant side's placed. They know exactly where Nusham's positioned, and Dire have no idea.
This time Team actually have a better vision around Roshan. Like, they just use Liar Strike Array to cut down the trees to get a better Dire Observer Ward down, so they get more information. But you are right, that Radiant Observer Ward is a lot deeper on the hill, almost in the mid lane. It will time out in 40 seconds though.
AU getting a bit too aggressive there. One route on your side maybe, this one on the enemy side. Not happening.
Yeah, this is actually really painful. They ensure the kill goes to Envy. Now, that's only a support kill, however, and that's not enough for Team to say they can go for Roshan. They still have to keep control of their lanes.
And we mocked the Midas a little bit, but so far it's been paying off. I mean, in a game this passive, you can't rag on it. Yeah. He's slowly increasing his farm advantage over the Juggernaut, mostly thanks to that Midas. And you can see 91% cooldown efficiency. Not necessarily good enough for Grand, but at least he gets an A.
Not an A+, though. But how do you actually feel? Like, I almost feel like I want to start saying the same stuff I said in game number 1, like where TNC aren't pushing the issue. It's buying time for the items to arrive for Team. But in this game, it feels like Team's lineup going into the late game has a lot to work with. Once they have that jump initiation, but also once they have that unstoppable Deucer.
Yeah. The danger is that they're all in on that team fight to provide any sort of lockdown or disable. Envy is tanky, but if you look at the mobility of the TNC lineup, who's he actually able to stay on top of? And BKB, think about all the lockdown that's threatened. The Rubik.
That's why he's buying it. That's why he buys a Blink Dagger. We're running this as a jumping close range Deucer Stonegaze.
All right, let's make it happen.
Black's in trouble, really getting hit up. Khan on the ice path, picked up, thrown down, goes after the assassinations, flying in and with the Roar. Amplification is a bit of a problem, and now they look towards Roshan. Buyback is available for this Tidehunter, and a smoke up from Team. It looks like they want something. Beastmaster is moving forward. He's going to send his board to do the work, to do the de-warding.
You got to be careful. They know buyback is a possibility. There's a sentry down. You got to be careful.
They see him. They got him. They know where he is. Over in the tree line. Deucer jumping in, but didn't do the Stargaze. Got hit by the ice pass. Maybe they have enough to kill off Cuckoo, but Armel, that range and the damage, they're going to try and work through the shield. Ice Mike 88 protects himself with the Nightmare, but then Armel just turns his gun and then shoots the potato to get the kill. Buyback's already come in from the Tidehunter. And TNC are happy with this. They got a kill and force the buyback.
What an insane ice path from EU. He also hit the Force Staff to save his Beastmaster. And you can see how hard it is for Team to try and walk into fights. There's a shrapnel down in the choke point, and sure, Envy's tanky, but he's just wandering back and forth. There's no real way for him to actually enter this fight because no one else can help him disable these targets. Tide's dead, he buys back, sure, but it's going to take him a couple moments to get back into the engagement. You can see TNC playing so well. They understand how they have to win these fights. You can never fully commit. Just keep playing this cat and mouse, drag out a hero, find one kill, and reset.
You know, I do actually kind of find it hilarious in one way, the way Eternal Envy played that. Didn't want to just like blink in and stone gaze. He actually blinked in and said, like, please hit me so the rest of my team has a better target.
Yeah, and the other thing is that once again, TNC is abusing vision control. Last game, they had the tree ants everywhere. This game, they've got the hawk. They've placed wards all over the map once again. And when you look at Team, they don't have any method of acquiring this vision to actually find the Rubik, to find the Jakiro before these fights are engaged. It's all about smoke movements and better positioning. It's just tough to find. It's a very slow draft.
It's like, you're against Beastmaster. This is the problem anyway. That's a nice deal for a Rubik, a Mystic Snake.
You gotta toggle mana shield, man. Should be every time you snake, especially in that scenario, but that's a perfect example. He has no idea where Rubik is and gets caught with a little bit of laziness in the mechanics. Not a big deal, makes Rubik farm a bit faster.
It allows him to deep push the lane solo, or even push a side lane. And that's exactly what Tim's has done. Like, he's just headed towards the bottom lane. Like, if I Fey Bolt and I Mystic Snake, then I get rid of this wave. Your Mantra Illusions won't be doing enough to stop it.
Yep. And Team, like, they're holding hands to the jungle.
They're smoking.
Smoke. Yeah, they recognize, look, we can't keep playing this game because we're just going to have our lane shoved into us until somebody makes a mistake and gets picked off. Let's find the team fight we've been waiting for. We might get over average, Toby. 29 minutes in.
Oh, maybe
they
not.
Scanned it.
Yep, they see him, and they're backing up. TNC, they'll hide in the trees, they'll play around their own vision, and really, such great movement from Cuckoo. Like, as you were mentioning, the vision game from TNC is right on the mark, and there's just no opportunity the team have.
You can see it's both teams very aware of their strategy. Neither one willing to give an inch.
But it's so hilarious because, you know, both sides are sitting there going, you know, I actually feel pretty good about this. Like, we're going late game. Team's like, our Deucer is getting unbelievably powerful, and we have amazing team fight. And TNC is just like, well, our Glass Cannon is getting stronger and stronger. He's on his way to a Silver Edge. Our Juggernaut is a legitimate hero as well, and they've got great jump and great steal for the counter team fight. Everyone's got everything they kind of want. They're just willing to almost have this peace treaty for the moment.
It's tough. I think I favor TNC just because they're the ones that are sort of letting Team, they recognize the game Team is playing, and especially after game one, if anyone's going to be on edge, it's this Dire side. And how does it feel good to go 30 minutes without using a single Enigma ult, a single Tide ult? You've been holding your load for so long, you gotta question if you finally get this team fight, will things really go as planned? Because you're still like one mistake away from giving up Roche and total control of the game. Because once you use the spells, then what?
Find that Zen place. Just like release slowly and then like be ready for when the time is right. TNC, like, they're happy to do so. We've got like Juggernaut up on the top lane with a blink dagger. Like, he can blink and spin, and he's even doing it now. Just straight spin the wave, TP back out again, force someone to come and defend this. Gunnar actually did complete the entire Greaves on himself. So trying to ensure that he will never get controlled, or he could just survive in general. Thoughts?
The benefit is Envy is currently still an item ahead of Sniper. He's going to be finishing the Butterfly right about now, and Armel just got his Mjolnir, which means no Silver Edge, and he's a full MKB away from having an ability to actually deal damage to Envy.
Aghanim Scepter up for the Rubik. Welcome to a 2-second cooldown on Steel. He can use both Ravage and Black Hole in a fight if he can also get the steal time right. Not to mention Fiend's Grip, not to mention every other bloody ability the team want to give to him. This is, as you said, you don't need to run him as a core. With a Blink, Ether Lens, and Aghanim Scepter, Tim's is now the real two.
You gotta be very cautious now with TNC. This is the power spike for Team.
This wraparound taking so long from Team. They're not going to get here in time. Juggernaut's trying. Actually, maybe they do. The damage output's not enough. And with the illusion of Envy being sent in, they know that Rochelle had begun. And Gunnar just wants them in. Raw comes in from Cuckoo. Blink forward at the Omnitouch. Envy blinks forward to help share the load. And maybe they have enough as he comes back out of the spin with the Fiend's Grip. This works for Team. They get the control. They get the kill. Buyback is available with the Centaur. They got a form stun. Cuckoo's got nothing left in the tank. He'll go down as well in the mid lane. A double kill for Gunnar. heat gets turned on.
The TNC finally, they get punished. You can't make that sort of maneuver. Team were all there. You can see the Crimson Guard, the Greaves. That Omni Slash did next to no damage.
And they were both kill streaks too, a 4 times and a 5 times. Gunnar took both of it, got almost 1,000 gold for that, but it's Enigma who has a Blink Dagger coming over on the Courier. Roshan's already taken. Who's going to get the Aegis Immortal? Goes to Envy, a blink in. He was looking for the cheese pickup, but Jakura will end up going down. And TNC full retreat now. They cannot stand and fight.
That's my...
This might actually be what's working.
maybe I've been using the wrong
Look at our win probability. Until these last couple of engagements, we were still sitting around the 50-50 mark.
Yeah, it's like, who needs ults, right? This is a Sun Tzu level out mind game by Envy and the squad of Team. They don't need to use any of their abilities. They've just been hanging out, slowly farming, now in sole possession of the top 2 net worth spots.
And still no Ravage, still
they don't need it.
Rubik, the only thing he was able to get was a Fiend's Grip. That's what he just used on Gunnar then. It was a long range one, a 2-minute cooldown. Yep. And he'll look for a new ability now. But it looks like Team are happy to back off. Pushing high ground against all the D-push of TNC is also a problem. Like I'm hoping everyone's got some coffee or something like this. We're in for a long haul, everyone.
I mean, Envy does have the highest game length of all time. It's for a reason. And I'm going to criticize Armel a bit here for the same thing I was on Limp for in that game he played Medusa in the group stage. You're going Hurricane Pike as your second item. That's about 3,000 gold that provides you no auto attack damage, no real method of accelerating. He could have bought a Midas once he saw Medusa get one. And
you can definitely see all the stones in the trees. Gabby is able to spin and TP away. Envy, he just went a little bit YOLO. It's like, if we could find something great, we smoked, we wanted something, he wasn't there, all right.
Yep. The cooldown reduction talent on Sniper is quite nice too, so it makes the Midas even better, but it's more about just not buying any sort of item to help him scale. Thus, his net worth is 8,000 behind, when in reality it could be like 4 or 5. That would mean he'd have an MKB for this upcoming push Team is looking to put together. They don't need the Deuce ult necessarily. It'll cool back down soon. However, Envy is closing in on that level 25.
Okay. Blinks up, using the Beastmaster Hawk for that extra vision. Bang goes down so quickly, but they want more. Tidehunter over the tree lines. Ghost Scepter protects Brax long enough to get his blink off. The rest of Team are nearby, and man, they really hate Boars. Lina, tossing and destroying it. But Envy feels really good. He's got himself an Alpha Wolf just as a fan.
Yeah, Nushim is doing such a great job on Enigma. We were talking about how he might have a hard time finding game impact, but just through his stacking, through his creep control, the Minotaur stun, or sorry, the Centaur stun was actually what helped kill the Beastmaster. He's got a Wolf now, which is just Avenge. Think of it as Avenge. No other abilities but the aura. Following around your carrying Medusa.
It does show a great diversity from Yushim, like the fact you can take these roles which are like, I have to jump it, I have to be that standard initiator, like, okay, I'll be your ES. And now it's like, well, I can actually play a slower passive game. I protect the areas which are important, I come and I push, I play the tempo style game as opposed to the initiation style game. Just a nice thing to remember for Yushim.
Envy is approaching that.
Envy is approaching some players.
I don't think this is a target, though.
No, this is not. Enigma will definitely jump if they want to go in.
This is an impossible situation. You cannot kill a Medusa who is level 25. He went for the split shot, uses modifiers over the 1,000 mana. I think that's to be expected. He has enough survivability. You've got to ensure you can actually deal the damage to win your team the game.
So that's where the modifier helps, not having to tank through everything TNC pumps out, especially when the damage isn't that scary so far from the Sniper. Like, this game still goes on and Sniper will still be that cannon in the back lines. They're not too far ahead. Like, it's still 5,000-6,000 in the gold and about like 10 to 8,000 in the experience. But this will now be the test.
Yep, it's all on Envy, keep in mind. He's got the Aegis for 1 more minute, and it's go time. You've got all your abilities. Shiva's BKB active on the Lina. All ults prepared. It could be time.
Oh, they're going to jump in. Envy just wants to start this one up. Pick him down. Mid-6 Snake will be stolen. They'll steal a little bit of mana out of this Dusa. The tier 3 tower is still being chipped away with the macro pyre. Envy's copying a lot of damage. Remember, we still got the Aegis Immortal, so they can assassinate, they can hold him in position, and they can burn the Aegis Immortal. All this aggression from Envy will not be as strong, and they're stealing so much mana. Even the Stone, Lina is having a real issue getting back off the ramp. Still caught inside the ice path. The tier 3 tower has fallen down, but Gunner's copying way too much damage. That's why consume up some extra regen. Dude, and they smoke. They still want to fight. We still haven't seen these two big abilities. Ags.
That's Ag Snake, Toby. It's turning everybody to stone. You don't need a stone gauge. That's insane. I cannot believe Tim's once again picked that up from Envy. That is huge for this defense.
So now you really ask, like, how great is it? So Gunnar, yep, turns to stone, cleans up the wave, and now, well, Lena picked up, thrown back into the ice path. Here's your Ravage, number 1 on the board. The Fiend Grip is great too. Juggernaut is controlled, and it looks like Team are ready to break the base. Big abilities have gone out, and maybe they can catch out the Tidehunter. Double buybacks from the cores of TNC. They need to get some of these exit kills. They're looking at the Tidehunter. He's the primary target with the spin. There's nothing iSkyTV can do apart from TP out, but that won't happen. The glass cannon to the back line just basically shattering him out. A perfect ice path catching out the Lena. The TP out from Deuce will be successful, but Gunnar is left behind for his 4th death of the game. Team. They took a tier 3 tower. The buyback cost was expensive, but TNC hold their racks.
That was really well played. Jug just blinking straight into the Ravage. Perfectly timed from Brax. And this is the threat. When you itemize as you are, Armel is currently 2 items behind. He needs MKB, but as we just witnessed there, if he has no BKB, the moment he catches that Ravage, Envy just clicks him down to death. Doing a great job. It looked a bit weird. He blinked straight into base. Theoretically, you could say he wasted the Aegis, but it was ticking out in 20 seconds anyway. Gunnar takes the tier 3 thanks to that space. Envy has to play this way so that his teammates with their huge ults can counter-initiate. However,
look how
those are all down now.
Look how fast TNC push back. It's like, okay, well, there's no Ravage. There is the Black Hole available, but no Lena for 45 seconds. And Tidehunter will have to buy back if he wants to be involved as well. And here we go. The Mystic Snakes just stealing it out. Everyone gets stoned behind the tier 3 tower. So it'll be a straight tier 3 for tier 3 tower trade pickup. Envy, he does not want to get caught in this. Back into the ice path once again. They're burning him off. This diffuser carrier with a Raw and a Macropire. They're burning through the shields. Envy can't die here. If he goes down, he has to buy back. 100-second death time, and that was a long thing to buy back on. He cannot die again, and Enigma's still waiting for the right opportunity, but this Observer Ward, it sees too much. It sees Ice Mike 88. Envy's doing the best he can with that modifier. He's slowing up Cuckoo. He has lost his support in Mike, and Beastmaster looks like he'll finally go down as almost 2 minutes on the sideline. Armel, he didn't finish the melee racks. He was so close, but with the death of the Beastmaster, knew he could not stay.
Envy just... This is the danger of giving away Mystic Snake to Ags Rubik, Toby. You can see over and over, he's stun locked in the middle of the field.
It's the danger of picking all these heroes against a Rubik, who then is able to farm up an Ags.
It's true, and this is the danger. You're all in. You were all in on that bottom push, and the game's equalized now. None of the real big cores have buyback on either side.
Mike is in a world of hurt. He's dead for the same amount of time as the Beastmaster is, but more items are still being completed. The Daedalus is now done on that level 25 Deucer.
And it's just weird things from both sides. Like, if you remove the Buckler and the Ghost Scepter from Brax, he'd be in spitting distance of a Refresher Orb. I'm curious as to when this Dire side looks to make their true move. The third Roche is now the objective that counts for both sides. It's game-breaking.
They're pushing mid. I think they're looking to try and take something more here.
Envy's got to be so careful, though, because he's so easily CC'd. You've got so much stun lock, the ice paths, the increased duration on lift, the stone form. He can be diffused, he can be roared. There's no real save for him other than hard counter initiation, but he's all of their damage.
It may also just not be the push. Keep in mind, Roshan is where we look out to our minds again. Like, keep the refresher shot is so critical for Team. They need to have this, and Roshan will spawn up in 1 minute's time. So, where's the vision game now?
It's one of the most tense, slow burn games I've ever witnessed, really. Like, absolutely nothing happening for 30 minutes.
This is like a really good spice in the curry, right? It's just like, you know, the taste is great, I'm feeling the burn, but I'm going to enjoy the burn for a very long time.
Okay.
I hear that's the best way to know what's a good spice.
Roche is 30 seconds away from spawning. You've got a creep in the pit.
It's that donated creep. I just love, like, the top 2 net worth still belong to Team, but how long until it's just ineffective net worth over on Envy? Like, he's going to go for the MKB, but what's he going to be dropping? Like, switching the boots in and out. Then he's already consumed a moonshot. There's nothing else Envy can buy with the money that he would farm up.
You probably drop the blink, but it seems so necessary. Maybe the boots. I think... I'm really not sure, Toby. This is a real strange game to witness. You've got the Jug finishing up a butterfly.
Roshan's up. I don't think Team saw it, though. The Wild Wing died too early, and okay, that's a great rune to have. Hey, Envy, present. And they give him the bottle too. He puts the Daedalus into his backpack so they can get the perfect timing on this. They need it for when the fight begins.
And look at that, BKB on Nushim as well. You've got to take out the Rubik. Tim's, there is so much pressure on him to perform now.
He still hasn't cast a black hole, right? Like,
no, he hasn't.
No, he hasn't. So
we'll get there eventually.
Okay, great. Cool. Okay.
But that's the thing, though. Neither has Rubik.
True. You could. I thought I was the one looking on the bright side of life. Smoke Gang from TNC. Same thing from Team. Here we go. This is going to be the moment. If they can find an opportunity. Rubik, he's waiting on the cliff. They see, they pick him up. Got him. He's trying to quickly the nightmare. Save from iSkyTV getting 8. It won't be a great Omni Slash. One is stolen. He's pulling it back into Tim. There's Ravage. He's pushing forward. The Stone's on into Eternal Envy. He cannot die. Shove it. The black hole. But then run. Catching 3 of his own. There's good team down the drain. The black hole has been discovered. Not in the photo in Dota 2.
Oh my God, Toby, of all the places in the entire map to try and fight, they choose the only location that Radeon have wards, and they have 2 of them. They see the smoke, no one's on the high ground, and they get obliterated. Absolutely obliterated. Brax's blink got canceled by a Maelstrom proc. He ravages no one, and oh my God. 43 minutes of preparation.
It was worth it from TNC's side. They will have the push to come. Still, after taking that fight, walking all the way up from bottom lane into the Roche pit, they still have another 80 seconds, 70 seconds before Dusa is alive again. They're gonna come through. They don't even have to take the racks. They can go for throne.
There's no ultimates up on the side of Team. I don't think. Yeah, they're paying it. It's go time, boys.
Don't delay, boys. Don't delay. Move through. There goes your melee racks. Kuga's like, hey, boys, I think I know how we can win this game of Dota 2. I think I know how we can knock Team out of ESL 1 Mumbai. You hit the tier 4 towers. You play the objective-based gaming. You take the dire ranges. Where is any kind of ability? There's no Ravage. They move forward. There's forward together. Stylish. TNC. They take the series with TT's own abilities. You thought it was your own strength.